Sagittarius, welcome, and welcome back to Heretic Owl Tarot. I hope that June has been and is treating you well. We are going to be talking about July, which is crazy to me, how that's possible. So we're just going to shuffle the cards a million times. This is my favorite feeling deck. I could literally shuffle these cards for hours. Oh my gosh. I love the way that they feel. I love the way that they shuffle. I also love this deck. Oh my gosh. It's such a beautiful, like, rendition, I guess, of the journey through tarot. I have the guidebook here also, which I'll probably be referencing because, like I said, like, I love the way that the author depicts the journey. So, it's the Medicine Woman Tarot. I do carry this deck and the guidebook as a set in my Etsy store. Usually they're sold separately, and I think that's dumb. Because I feel like the guidebook is just, you need it. So I sell them as a pair in my Etsy. There's a link in the description below. There's a code there for a discount. And that's my shameless self-plug. So let's talk about you. Like I said, we're talking about July. We're just going to shuffle a million times until basically the feeling hits me to cut the deck, lay out the cards. We're going to do a 6-card spread. So 2 rows of 3. Two more. There we go. All right. What is the message for Sagittarius? We have death. Well, shit. Sunset. We have the Ace of Bowls or the Ace of Cups. The Tower or the Pierced Shield. Nurturing Lodge of Bowls or the Queen of Cups. Harvest Lodge of Stones or the Queen of Pentacles. And then the Two of Stones or the Two of Pentacles. And then the 9 of Stones or 9 of Pentacles. Great. So we will just work our way through the cards. What is hilarious to me is that I just, in the last reading, which was, the last reading I did was Gemini. I was literally saying to them that in the readings that I had done prior to theirs, and it was about half of the readings, or half of the zodiac. Anyway, in the readings that I had done prior, including Gemini, the only minor arcana cards that were coming out in the majority were swords or arrows and wands or pipes. There were very little stones, which represent pentacles, and very little bowls or cups that came out. And I was like, oh, you know, like, it's talking about what you want to focus on doing. And then we come to my dear Sagittarius, and the minor arcana cards that came out were bowls and stones. Oh, I think that is hilarious. And that's just like one of the things that I just absolutely love about tarot. So let's get into it. This overall, this has this feeling of you better take care of yourself. It's like pouring into your own cup. So we start with the sunset or death. And, you know, I mean, that generally talks about cycles coming to an end. It has, you know, like the energy of rebirth. Like I always, when I see the death card, I always think of that saying that endings disguise or beginnings disguise themselves as endings, because it's never really over, right? Like it's just like when something ends, it makes way for something new to begin. It just kind of like frees up that energy for the new thing, right? And I did just want to read from the book about death. And it says, the affirmation says, I accept the changes that will come through higher states of consciousness. All change works to bring about my freedom and my good. I let go and am free. And then I'll read part of this here. It says, like the setting sun, I am death to that which has been of this day, yet I promise renewal. When there is no other way out, I come. I am kind. Only I can offer the opportunity to leave behind the unsolvable problems. I am firm. There is no return to what has been. Through me, you are called to the Creator. You are called to listen once more to the great plan and the part you must play in it. I am the end of life as you have known it. I am the beginning of what you have not yet imagined. When you see me coming, open to change, I am a warning. I tell you that the patterns through which you are working are leading to your end. In your body, I am constantly taking the old cells and making room for the new. Every few years, your body is totally recreated in the form of your thoughts. You create the body through your intellectual patterns. Change the pattern, the thought and image, and you change the form. Restructuring the mind is restructuring the body. There's a few more pages, I think. Yeah. But I'm going to stop there. So that's what I'm saying. And especially since that is the card that starts our reading here, there is this, it's almost, you know, like kind of saying, if you don't do it, I will type of thing. But it's like, kind of like the book was saying, of course, right? Like the patterns of which you have been in are no longer like sustainable. So there's this invitation to kind of switch that up and allow those patterns. And I feel like you would be aware of what those patterns are. It's almost kind of like you've already known for some time. And this is just kind of like that validation or that confirmation, whatever, you know, like this is it. Especially, like I said, being the first card that came out. And then it's kind of like, you know, we end with the Two of Stones, which generally talks about balance. I mean, we'll get to that, of course. But there is a sense of balance that goes with the Two of Stones. And we have the Nurturing Lodge of the Bowls, which, like I said, is the Queen of Cups. And the Queen of Cups, you know, when we talk about the queens, I see them as being the, like, we have to embody the energy first. Like, we have to understand the energies and see them within ourselves before we can share them with other people. And that's when we get to the King. So this is, again, like filling your own cup. How do you feel? Like, how are your relationships benefiting you? Like, what are you giving to yourself? Because, you know, this card even has a family on it. And it's like, there's, you know, like community in here. There's, you know, kind of plenty of food to go around. And I do want to, again, read from the book really quick. It says, enter the lodge of spiritual family and celebrate your lives together. This is the place and time to utilize your stores of nourishment for self and others. Embrace, be in peace, reflect, and enjoy. If you cannot fully do this in your life now, there is a lesson here. You have given away too much, saving nothing for the present. You have extended your hands to others so far that you have lost your balance. Go prepare a nurturing space. Renew yourself. Get what you need to fill your space and feel good about sharing once again with others. Your life is designed to bring you into constant relationship. Each relationship is a chance to act as if you are serving the divine being by serving that part of God that lights each human and creature presence. So, you know, with these two cards in combination, like I said, there is this need to give to yourself. And that's what this Ace of Bowls is. This is the Ace of Cups, right? And generally the Ace of Cups is overflowing. Cups having to do with our emotions, right? And love and fulfillment, contentment. But like, you can't pour from an empty cup, right? So when the Ace of Cups shows up, it's saying that, you know, like, your cup is going to be full. It is going to be overflowing, and you will feel like you are able to then share with somebody else. And then we go into the Two of Cups, right? Like, you come with your full cup, the other comes with their full cup. And it's like, you know, like, nobody is taking without giving. And I do find it interesting that, you know, like, there's kind of this energy of other people. So this almost, you know, like, it could even be that, let me see. I mean, it could even be that you are not, it's like you're not receiving, it's like the energy that you're giving out is not being reciprocated. So you're pouring out of your cup, and, you know, like, whoever else it is, whether, I mean, it could be your job, it could be your friend group, it could be your family. You know, if you are in a partnership, it could be that, right? But it's just like, you know, it's like 90-10 or 80-20. Like, you are outputting more than you are getting back. And again, you know, I mean, whatever it is though, right? Like, we're going to go back to this pattern breaking thing here. There's, you know, some sort of energy that kind of needs to come to an end. And with the Ace of Cups here, like I said, it's almost like filling your own cup, making sure that your cup is full first and foremost before anything else. This is even maybe just kind of like taking that step back. You know, like, giving yourself a break. and filling your cup, however that is for you, whether that's, you know, spending some time alone, or, you know, getting a massage, or going to see a movie, you know, like whatever the case may be. But it's like you're doing it for yourself. Because, you know, like I said, like since there is kind of this energy of like others around, it's like you do have something to share, and it's like you want to share, but you may just have been exhausted. I love how, like, on this card, there's, you know, this figure up here, which could be the divine, you know, if you believe in a higher power. It could even be your higher self. But both of these figures have their own bowls, right? So it's like everybody is okay. And then we have the Harvest Lodge of Stones, which is the Queen of Pentacles. It's kind of interesting because I feel like, you know, on the Queen of Cups, we're seeing inside the lodge, right? And then on the Queen of Pentacles, we're looking in from outside. And it's like, you know, there's this harvest here, all of these goods, right? Food, nourishment. And, you know, the Queen of Pentacles does talk about nourishment. You know, pentacles have to do with our money. You know, it's like the material things. It's the 3D. So it's, you know, the stuff that we can touch, tangible things. It's also how we spend our time and our energy, our resources here. And again, you know, with the queens, it's how are you nourishing yourself? This could even be, oh, I'm glad that I had that there. Okay, so this was talking about renewing yourself and being in a space where you feel good about sharing once again with others. Okay, so we're pouring into our own cups, right? Like filling ourselves with, you know, kind of that energy that we're giving to other people. But I feel like the Harvest Lodge of Stones also almost kind of talks about how we need to do that with literal nourishment. And this might be, here we go. Let's see. Great Mother's womb is filled with plenty. The future looks secure. You have stored what is needed and passed on your wisdom. You have replenished the source of your supply. You will be well fed. Look to your house of wares. For everything you have gained, you have given its seed to future generations. You know you are now in charge of the whole system. It must work well beyond your earthly life. Who will carry on and how? Has your blueprint been clearly laid that others may follow? You may want to note the history of your success for those who come behind you searching. The hungry will be fed by what you leave for them. You know, I love this because, like I said, you know, this first column here felt like, again, right? I mean, literally, like, stop overgiving. This could even just be exhaustion, right? Like on an emotional level, just feeling a bit depleted. This is saying that, you know, by filling your own cup, you're going to be able to kind of be that teacher and that guide that the Queen of Cups was talking about. Because there's all this community around, right? And it's like you have all this knowledge and resource and things to share, but you've got to be in a place where it's like, you know, for one, you're giving it to yourself, but for two, you have the energy to do it. And you're kind of coming from a place of love, not from a place of lack or exhaustion, right? Like it would only really work if you, no, I don't want to say that. Like it'll feel better. That's a better way of saying it. It'll feel better if you're coming from a place of nourishment. And then we have the pierced shield or the tower. And generally, you know, the tower is like the fast happening, a quick kind of thing that, you know, it's going to just take out what is no longer serving you. And I have seen the tower a few times in these readings. It says, as old structures dissolve, my good evolves. I am filled with new inspiration. False concepts are destroyed as I release that which limits my joy and well-being. Hello? Like, your shield is the thought structure you have created through living. It is built of words, attitudes, and concepts that, as you instituted and accepted them, serve to protect your tender inner being. But there comes a time when old patterns for your own good must be broken. I come to destroy that which is no longer useful to you, to down the Tower of Babel, to dismantle false hopes and erroneous assumptions. It is time for concepts based on the idea of separation between self and the universe to be replaced by the knowledge of self in relation to the whole. The old ego purposes are revealed and knocked down. There is realization of a greater cosmic will working within. It is the end of saying, I can't help it, that's just the way I feel. Subconscious motivations are brought to your awareness. Your present level of consciousness now sees your old level of consciousness as false expectations. These are the lessons that I teach. Holy shit. Yes. I love that both of these cards are, like, I love how the Ace of Cups is between these two cards that talks about releasing old shit. Like, this is saying that, you know, those old patterns need to be put to bed. This is saying that I'm taking out those old patterns. Piercing the shield, right? And then we have the Two of Stones or the Two of Pentacles. that talks about, like I was saying, you know, like this balance. It says, the fertile ground of nature surrounds me now, waiting with her gifts for me to notice. The great spirit within stands ready in my soul to activate whatever abilities I choose. Which will it be? What can I offer to the world that will bring my earthly reward and soothe my soul? I reflect now on myself and where I am. What can I do for this land around me? What can I do for my people? As I activate myself in a chosen direction, the road to prosperity is cleared. What the hell? That is so beautiful, isn't it? Come on. I just wanted to read the 9 of Stones also, and it says, now that I have perfected my product, I am able to share my way with another who aspires to meet my quality. In teaching, I open the way to be filled once again by new and fresh ideas. I continue to grow as I give my old knowledge away. In managing, I am vigilant and clear, yet always kind and gentle in my instruction. Like a loving father, I guide. Like a conscious mother, I provide. Holy shit. This is okay. It's interesting because now it's like, you know, you can almost kind of like see the journey here. Like this was overgiving, right? Like just kind of overgiving to the point of exhaustion on an emotional level. This is giving yourself time and space to nourish yourself and almost kind of get clear. Like if you do want to like provide a service, or if you are kind of in this place of, you know, trying to, you know, kind of figure out how you can give back. Like maybe, you know, you're not feeling fulfilled in the work that you do or in the relationships that you have, or whatever the case may be for your situation. This is, you know, recognizing that what you're doing now or what you have been doing is maybe no longer working. It probably hasn't been working for like some time, and you're just like holding on by a string, really, which is hard. That is exhausting. And this, you know, this Ace of Cups is coming in to nourish you. There's this invitation for you to fill your own cup. Whether that's even just, you know, kind of taking a, like I said, like taking a break where it's accessible and digging into yourself, like, you know, really kind of pouring back into your own cup and, you know, getting clear on what is it, you know, what is it that I would want to share or be in service of. Because I feel like this is all like, you know, there's so much that it's talked about as far as like giving and teaching, and, you know, so that's why I'm going that route. This is, of course, like I said, this whole top row is saying that, you know, what is no longer serving you it's got to go, or it's going to be taken out. Like, it's like I was saying, you can either make the decision or it's going to be made for you. And that's what the Tower is. But then we have this Two of Stones, and this, she is by herself. This is where you have the opportunity to figure out those resources, really get clear on how you want to either manage those resources, provide the resources. But this is the only card, well, besides Sunset here, that, you know, like this person is kind of by themselves. And then we have the Nine of Stones, where you've figured out how it is that you want to offer your knowledge. How do you want to give these teachings, right? So, and then we have the Guide or the Hermit right behind that. So, I mean, like you could be some sort of guide, you know, like with the Nine of Stones, like offering your knowledge, offering your experience. But it's also going to give back to you. Resources will open up. Beautiful. I'm going to leave it there. Thank you so much for being here, Sagittarius. Bye.